one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
While we come to you tonight, we ask you to give us the guidance and the knowledge to help the citizens of Boonville. Amen.
Amen. No, it's
Roll call. Carter.
Here.
Ehlers. Here. Dorman. Stock.
here.
Young.
Here.
Meadows. Here. Beach.
Here.
Hurt.
Here.
Hearing of citizens' comments at this time. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment, this would be the time to come forward. We have none this evening. Approval of the minutes of the December 5th, 2016 council meeting. You had those in your packet. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as presented? Hearing none, they will stand as presented. Consent items, we have 3 this evening, 2 pay requests and a change order. I would entertain a motion. Morris?
Mayor, make a motion we approve this.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions or comments?
Was that for all 3, Morris?
Yes.
Questions? Roll call. Carter.
Yes.
Ehlers. Yes. Stock.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
Presentation of accounts and claims. Teresa, when you're ready. Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Boonville as follows. Section 1. For the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the City of Boonville, which have been allowed by the Council at the regular meeting thereof on December the 19th, 2016, the sum of $629,366.18. General Fund, $342,575.96. Sanitation, $7,491.80. CIP tax, $39,796.13. Waterworks, $44,517.05. Capital projects, $38,720.80. Wastewater, $47,601.10. Tourism, $7,255.92. Gaming, $76,256.19. Parks and Water, $25,151.23. Section 2. The accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on their respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $629,366.18, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3. This ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on December 19th, 2016. Read for the second time this 19th day of December 2016, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money. Becky?
I move that we approve this ordinance.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Morris. Roll call. Carter.
Yes.
Ehlers.
Yes.
Stock.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
Unfinished business. Item A, second reading of bill number 2016-035, amending an agreement with Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for funding of airport improvements. An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending an agreement with Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission, MHTC, for funding of airport improvements, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Morris?
Mayor, make a motion this be approved.
Do I hear a second? Okay, thank you. Questions or comments? Roll call. Carter.
Yes.
Ehlers.
Yes.
Stock.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
New business. Item A, first reading of bill number 2016-036, authorizing the acceptance of quitclaim deed from Industrial Development Authority in Charles Persinger Park. Industrial.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to accept a quitclaim deed for transfer of real estate from the Industrial Development Authority.
Report of standing committees, IDA and MFA. Becky?
The minutes are in your packets. You'll note at that October meeting, there was a special presentation on the Sunshine Law done by Dr. Gettings. I thought he did a really good job and kind of clarified some things for the committee members. So the rest of it's all there if you have any questions.
Okay. Any questions? Yes, Ned?
Just a quick question, page 19, consideration of request to the city for appropriations. The paragraph kind of gives the impression that the city's going to write a check to the IDA for $500,000. Is that what that means?
No, what has transpired on that is there's been discussion of that group going ahead and submitting a request to the city for either part or all of that money, but that would still have to come before this group.
Okay. Thank you, Becky.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Historic preservation, Vanessa, I think there was no meeting, lack of quorum. Planning and zoning, Steve,
That meeting was canceled.
excellent job. You did a good job. Item E, police board, Henry?
I was unable to attend that meeting.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? I'm sure Chief Welliver would be glad to answer them. None? Tourism Commission, I believe that was a no meeting too. Was that correct, Ned?
It was, it's rescheduled for tomorrow.
Yes, okay. Because I know they do have some things they need to,
Yeah, there's a
Make a
nice little
decision.
packet in here. It's a
Yeah.
2-hour meeting. They even volunteered to feed us.
wow.
Pretty
That's a good
exciting.
Airport Advisory Board, Susan?
I was not at the September 7th, but at the October 10th, and there was discussion about the tree removal. I think that's basically it.
Okay.
Quick question on that, maybe you can answer that.
I'll try.
In the grant that was done for the tree removal, did they detail out the trees, or did they just do it by area? It was just an area that they were going to clean up, or was it actually by tree? Because there were...
Well, it is pretty specific. They might not have did an exact tree if there was a clump there in a certain spot, but it was pretty specific.
Okay, so if you wanted to add or subtract from that, then you had to go back through the process to do that.
Right, but in the areas they cover, I think they felt they were exhaustive. Now, it didn't cover the ones on the other side of I-70 because that wasn't funded to begin with, and it's problematic, frankly.
And that's what they were talking about here,
I
was the other side of I-70.
assume that's what they were probably talking about.
Okay, thank you.
I know that the gentleman that did the tree removal by the airport, they were pretty specific about what they were going to remove, because I knew that, no, they said they had to wait till after a certain time because of some little bat that nests in a shag bark or something, I don't know. So they had pretty well studied what was out there and what they could cut, what they had to leave and all that sort of thing. So
Okay.
I think they did a nice job of
It looks good.
studying it. Okay. Reports of city officials. City
I don't have
administrator,
anything.
did you want one of us report on this or just let them read it?
What do you prefer?
Well, we probably should mention it, I suppose.
Let me do it.
Yeah.
I think there was passed out to you today, I think Ned asked about it at the last meeting of Cancer Park. There's today we met with Mr. Melkersman, Julie and I, and the plan he had, that's in his words, set forth, has been on display, going on 2 weeks now perhaps, at the City Hall, and we've gotten a few comments on it. And so at today's meeting, I provided him a copy of all those comments, and this was a list from me, I prepared this, that probably picks up most of the things within those comments, as well as something coming from the city side. I went over them with him item by item with him, and told him we wanted a full response to them, and he thought he would work on it after the first of the year.
Particularly pleased. I mean, the list is great, and this is good and thorough, and it's a good approach to what's going on over there. But number 4, because I think we had forgotten all about that. We had forgotten about what needed to happen afterwards. And then that situation with the water, I mean, that absolutely proved that we need a solid maintenance plan from them. So, yes, kudos.
Yeah, I think neither Julia and I, even after discussing it for 3 or 4 minutes, still understand what the situation is with the water. So,
I don't either. I mean, Gary's comments were different than the comments that we got. And but it's not real pretty down there. Thank you, Earl.
okay.
Okay. Mayor, I have none, but I would like to comment, thank the street department and all of the crews that get out and work on our streets and get things cleared off. They do an exceptional job. And in fact, someone in the community made the comment to me, they said, I think every truck that the city owns has a snowplow strapped on it. I said, yeah, I think that's pretty much right. So everybody that has a truck can plow snow. So that's how we get it done here, and I think if you compare us to some other communities, we do a great job. So kudos again to our employees on that. City Councilor?
Nothing
Marissa?
tonight, thank you, Mayor.
Economic Developer, Dr. Gann.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
evening.
My report to the IDA begins on page 30. And, of course, I'll answer any questions you may have, but I'll highlight a couple things. This has been a particularly busy month for new projects that have come from the Missouri Partnership. Item 2B, Project Sugar. Since this was done, the geographic scope of that project has been reduced to St. Louis area, so we are out. You'll see Project Tiger and Project Outback, which is C and D. They had a requirement of having a rail-served site, which we do not have, a building that sits on a rail spur. I will skip on over to item 2F. This was a particularly disheartening project because we had some land that was owned by a private party that had been identified as a site available for development. This project came in and it had some very specific site requirements. The dimensions had to be just correct to match this, and it was a rather large tract, and it had rather minimal infrastructure requirements. So Earl and I met and thought the infrastructure issues could be overcome. And when I spoke to the owner, the last thing that I thought I would have trouble with is a willing seller, because the owner bought the land as investment. So anyway, I could not get them to agree to submit the project. So the land was unavailable. Anyway, you can see this was to build up to a 1.6 million square foot building. So anyway, that was the last. Usually it's infrastructure things that take us out pretty early, as you can see by having a rail-served building. I didn't think that, anyway, I was disheartened, but that's the way it is. Most of the other things that you'll see of my activity over the month, for the sake of time, I'll direct your attention to page 32 on item 9. The IDA has been working on this for some time. We've completed our strategic plan, which has some parts associated with it, which is the incentive matrix, as well as a process chart of how incentives are reviewed. That we've made hard copies for you. They were not bound prior to tonight's meeting, but I would expect you would have those by your next meeting. If you would like an electronic copy, I can certainly send those to you, but we are making hard copies for the council as well as the commission. Other than that, I included for you the article that it starts on page 33. I say article, actually, that's a transcript of a 60 Minutes segment. And I would encourage you to go and watch the 60 Minutes segment about Joe Max Higgins. Because what I would hope you would see from this is really two things. One is this is who we're competing with. And Joe Max Higgins is quoted as saying the only way we win a deal is to tear off everyone else's face.
Right.
So that's the kind of combative environment that we're in. But the other thing, and the second part of that is we got to kill everybody to win the deal. So, if you look through that, what you'll see is some of the things Joe Max is doing, and I think some of the things that he's doing there to be successful are some of the same things that we're doing, particularly around workforce development and such. So I hope you see the bright spot there. One thing he's doing that we're not is doing $12 million investments in sites. So we certainly don't have the capacity to do that. And then lastly, on workforce development, I've sent you all a invitation, but this Thursday at 10 a.m. In this very room will be a presentation from the Missouri Department of Economic Development about a milestone that we've met. So I invite you to do that. If you have any questions, I can answer them. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. City Clerk, Teresa?
I have a couple of things here. On Friday, December 16th, 2016, the following city employees volunteered an hour of their time to ring the bell to benefit our community through the Salvation Army. Due to the unfavorable weather conditions, we had a few hiccups and it ended up getting called off before the end of the day. However, our 2016 bell ringers were Patrick Ziegelbein, Carrie Shipman, Mark Strange, Bill Sterling, Cole Potter, Sandy Lawson, Russell Gerling, Carissa Mays, Guy Kaiser, Jesse Karen, Mark Weibel, Daryl Harris, Kate Fiel, Kate Gibson, Susan Meadows, and myself, and I want to offer my thanks to all of them. Also, I have a filing update. As of today's date, there has been one candidate that has filed for the April 4th, 2017 election. That is Whitney Venable, council seat for Ward 3. The filing period for the election will close on January the 17th, 2017 at 5 p.m. And then lastly, the next city council meeting is going to be held on Tuesday, January the 3rd, due to the New Year's Day holiday being on the 2nd, which is a Monday. So I look forward to seeing you all on the 3rd of January.
Okay. Any questions?
Will the second meeting in January also be on a Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Second.
That'll be the 17th.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Building inspector provided a report. Probably everybody's had a chance to read that. Not a whole lot of buildings going on right now. I think everybody's kind of finishing up all the projects all of a sudden. Miscellaneous. Gary.
Just a quick update in reference to the memo that Teresa sent out last week. The fountain has been turned off.
Can you tell for people who may not know, this is regarding the Cancer
The
Memorial?
Cancer Memorial Park, right, in regards to the water situation down there. But the fountain was turned off sometime this weekend. One of my employees saw it running Saturday morning, but I've been told it's off now. The irrigation system supposedly was blown sometime last week. we weren't aware of that, but it has been. And the frost-proof hydrant that is currently still in place is going to be removed and that line capped. But I also asked Russell Gerling last Friday if he would shut the water off at the meter, so if we did have a line freeze and burst, we didn't fill Science Hall full of water, so that has been done.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. Any other miscellaneous? No? Everybody's anxious to get home? Okay. Motion for...
So moved.
Thank you, Ned. Second. Michael seconded.
I did.
All those in favor, please stand up and leave.
Did give